We are making all the right moves as we inch closer to the official start of the college basketball season, and we do so tonight in the home of the Blues, Memphis, Tennessee. But it's not just basketball happening in the Bluff City. The kids at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital had very special visitors as the student athletes joined them in some games and festivities last night and today, all a part of the doubleheader with the Carolinas in town. We open up with the North Carolina men here on ESPNU. The second game of the doubleheader will feature the South Carolina women. Hi everyone and welcome courtside. I'm Beth Mowens along with the newly minted Naismith Hall of Famer Debbie Antonelli, and we've got a good one in store, exhibition style with Carolina and a Memphis team, Debbie, that looks a whole lot different than a year ago, courtesy of the transfer portal and guys like P.J. Haggerty.
Folks around this program here at Memphis think this might be the most talent that Penny Hardaway has had in his 7th year. P.J. Haggerty, 21 points a game last year. He's a preseason first-team pick in the American Athletic Conference. He's a stat stuffer, and he's a part of a group of guys that are here that transferred in through the portal that can all contribute. Dane Danger on the low block of presence. Colby Rogers, a shot maker. Tyrese Hunter, one of the best on-ball defenders. Smith and Cisse, rim protectors and rim runners. This is going to be a fun game to watch them evolve as the season goes on, too.
How about on the other side for the reigning ACC regular season champs, the North Carolina Tar Heels, unfortunately without the reigning ACC Player of the Year, R.J. Davis tonight, but they got plenty of other guys to fill in.
Can't have enough guards, Beth, as R.J. Davis got hurt in their blue-white scrimmage the other night. A back contusion is what they're calling it. And Elliot Cadeau, who started in the backcourt with North Carolina and with R.J. Davis last year, we're going to see about his improvement here and about his leadership, which Hubert Davis, head coach, has been raving about in the preseason.
Speaking of rave reviews, a couple of big freshmen, Ian Jackson and Drake Powell, will be coming off the bench. There they are, numbers 9 and 11. There is the group that will start, including a fabulous shooter, Cade Tyson, with good size on the perimeter, and a new look front line with Armando Bacot off to the Memphis Grizzlies. Here is the starting lineup for the Tigers. A lot of new guys, headlined by Tyrese Hunter, most recently at Texas, and Dane Danger coming over from Illinois. Nicholas Jourdain is the only rotation player returning from a year ago for Penny Hardaway, now in his 7th season. And Hubert Davis on the Tar Heel bench for the 4th year, the reigning ACC Coach of the Year. Road Blues for the Heels. Home Whites for Memphis. Underway at the Hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic. The proceeds from ticket sales all benefiting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital here in Memphis. And it is Dane Danger, the 5th-year man out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, with the spin inside.
Dane Danger, 69% from the floor last year at Illinois. Tremendous offensive threat.
Lob on the back door, the assist for Cadeau as he finds Jalen Washington, the junior out of Gary, Indiana. Debbie, there are big opportunities for the frontline players this year for Carolina.
Especially Jalen Washington, who's going to get a great sample right here against Dane Danger, one of the physical low post guys he'll see on the schedule for North Carolina, one of many.
Here comes Cadeau with the push.
That's going to be the key right here, pace and the push by Carolina, and right away attacking the rim in their first 2 possessions.
They are real excited, talking with the Carolina staff today about the folks in Chapel Hill getting more of Seth Trimble this year, and we saw his move to the rim vastly improved, they say, on the offensive end. Here's Rogers, he'll try from downtown. Numbers on the break. Cadeau tries to hook back up with Withers, and they're able to save it and slam it off of Haggerty out of bounds. Hubert Davis over there on the Carolina side. 3 consecutive 20-win seasons. An earlier than expected exit last year, falling in the NCAA tournament in the Sweet 16 to a tough Alabama side. But R.J. Davis, even though he's out of the lineup tonight, returns. They expect him to be healthy in time for the start of the regular season on November 4th.
North Carolina, of course, the big question is no Armando Bacot playing inside. Who's going to rebound? Who's going to occupy the low post? This is a team that has a lot of very talented guards, including Cade Tyson right there with the basketball, who has the versatility to play really 2 through 4 right now for Hubert Davis.
The floater, good from Trimble.
Trimble has always been a downhill athletic combo guard, playing the 1 or the 2. Right here, this is an example of his confidence, getting inside the paint, using his footwork to score around, shot blocking presence inside.
He was their top scorer off the bench, was 3rd in the voting for the ACC 6th Man of the Year.
Well, they talk about his mechanics in the offseason as well. He and Elliot Cadeau and working on their 3-point range, which will help the spacing for North Carolina.
Trimble's going to be called for the bump. We're seeing it in the first game. We're also going to see it in the second game with the South Carolina women. Really good guard depth for both those clubs. As you see, Penny Hardaway talked about the changes that he made, not only with the roster, but also with his coaching staff. They want to get back to the toughness. They want to get back to being a disruptive team on the defensive end. And they absolutely want to get back to the NCAA tournament. They missed out a year ago. Haggerty drives into the lane, can't hit it. Good board work for Carolina. Here's Trimble.
North Carolina wants to push. They want to play at their pace. We heard Hubert Davis in practice this morning say it quite a few times.
Withers working on a smaller defender. Rebounded by Danger, and then a foul going to be called on the reach-in.
You know, Withers has got to be able to score in that situation where he's got a smaller defender. He gets over that left shoulder. Tyrese Hunter, though, holding on to his position inside, doing a good job of defending in that switch.
Here's Haggerty, the transfer from Tulsa. Preseason All-AAC. Danger able to tip it to himself, and that finally goes down for Haggerty to end a 7-0 Carolina run. Tyson. Jordan got a piece of that one. Good closeout on the shooter. Haggerty follows behind the big man and draws a foul.
I mean, Danger took 2 guys out in transition. You know, Danger has a totally different role in this system here for Penny Hardaway. Watch right here. He just takes 2 heels right out of the play and allows Haggerty, who was 2nd in the nation last year in getting to the free throw line, an opportunity to get to the stripe.
Only Zach Eddy was better at Purdue. This is a former ACC Freshman of the Year last year at Tulsa. 15th in the country in scoring, and a lot of that coming with the freebies. Substitutions now for both sides, and keep your eyes on the Tar Heel Blue. Number 9 is Drake Powell. Number 11 is Ian Jackson. Both a part of the number 5 rated recruiting class, and both expected to have a big impact this year in Chapel Hill. And they run as the shooters into the corners. Nice. Brilliant. And the roll.
Very well executed late on the tag from the weak side, but that's what happens when you have a shooter in the corner.
Then Alan Rubin with the finish.
A nice ball fake.
Jordan can't knock it down. Cadeau, rebound, and a run. Jackson walked with it on his first touch.
Both teams playing very quickly, right? Excited about the opening of the season. This is October 15, right? This is when college basketball used to start. Remember all the midnight madnesses we used to have?
Oh, yeah.
I used to think this felt like a national holiday on October 15th.
Well, and watching shoot-around today, the tempo for Memphis, the attitude for Memphis, and then talking with Penny Hardaway, like they were treating this almost like this is a coming out party for a new look Memphis team to show what they can do.
More talent, a little more depth, the ability to play the pace he wants, particularly on the defensive end. The number one thing he talked to us was about toughness. And when you look at the roster and you go through the guys he brought in the portal, there's a bunch of winners here. They've won in the past. They've won in the NCAA tournament. Tyrese Hunter has played 106 college basketball games already at Iowa State and Texas.
Dane Danger has a championship ring from his earlier days at Baylor. Trying to get the culture back to the way it used to be. And here's Cade Tyson hard on his first attempt. Over a 45% shooter last year at Belmont.
He made 80 threes last year to Cade Tyson. I expect him to make a lot of threes this year for North Carolina.
Oh, the second chance. Jourdain gets to the rim. He's a defend and rebound kind of guy who wants to add the offense to the resume this year. They try the pick and roll again. Good handle by Lubin to finish.
North Carolina ready for Memphis to bring two to the ball and those ball screens on the wing. Good short roll, good catch and finish.
Haggerty, nice shimmy shake, short on the shot. He'll get it back, another opportunity, and a foul going to be called on Powell.
Memphis all over the offensive boards. That's their 5th offensive rebound, Beth. Already in the first little over 4 minutes in the game.
This one, the highlight, Debbie, of all those.
Trimble with a nice floater. Trimble getting to the paint. Nice finish inside. North Carolina with a 1-point lead.
Well, R.J. Davis, unfortunately looking on today with a back contusion he suffered on Saturday. They hope to have him back. He should be good to go for the start of the regular season as he approaches the all-time scoring record. Last year, R.J. scored 784 points, Debbie. That's what he needs to tie Tyler Hansbrough for the Carolina and the ACC all-time record.
Well, we asked Hubert Davis about him. He said, I'm just so happy he's back, and if he gives me the year he gave us last year, I'll be happy with that. And I mean, it's October 15. He doesn't need to play. He can, you know, in his 5th year, he can get healthy and be 100% ready for when it counts, because this game does not count on either team's record.
ACC leading scorer last year at 21 a game. The poll came out just earlier tonight. He is obviously projected to be the player of the year again. And Duke, #1, Carolina, #2 in the preseason poll, followed by Wake, Clemson, and Virginia, the top 5.
Memphis coming off the timeout, changing up their defense, going with some full court pressure here. North Carolina did prepare for this in shoot-around.
Let's see coming out of this timeout, too, the next time up the floor. Carolina, one of the questions, would they be able to rebound this year without the big guys? So far, that's been a problem. 5 offensive boards for Memphis to get them to the 1-point lead.
Well, that was the big question mark, right? As Cadeau puts it on the deck and drives down the lane line. No Armando Bacot. Nobody had more rebounds in college basketball than Armando.
You know, rumor is he wants to get into TV. He might be able to join us.
That's a good tease. That's a good tease.
We're hunting for him right now.
North Carolina last set goes to their horns.
On the inbound, and Jackson can't get that to drop. He and the other freshman, Drake Powell, both still out there together.
Without Dane Danger on the floor, they go 5 out, does Memphis.
Rogers bumped on a 3-point shot by the freshman Powell. 3 free throws coming up. Memphis in the preseason poll picked to finish 2nd in the league behind UAB this year.
Definitely late on the closeout. 3 free throws here for Rogers.
Colby out of Covington, Georgia, a couple of years at Wichita State. He can shoot at 41%. He was 1 shy of 100 made triples last year. and a guy that Penny Hardaway called an elite shot maker at practice today. Withers comes back on for Carolina. That's the first miss, by the way, at the stripe for Memphis. They're 7 of 8.
I think you're going to see a lot of versatility out of what Hubert Davis does this year with his team. You know, he just goes off the timeout with a smaller lineup. Now he comes back with Withers and Van Lubin.
Jackson off the mark. Memphis looks to push. Jourdain, the pull-up three in transition, and Tyson has the rebound. Miscommunication there. Memphis with numbers. Jourdain will take it all the way for his second throwdown of the half.
And here comes the full court pressure. Man-to-man defense we expect to see. We don't really expect either one of these teams to play anything different, only because we were tipped off that Hubert Davis and Penny Hardaway had a conversation about how they wanted to handle this exhibition game.
Another one-and-done trip, and the rebound and run. Carter unattended. The tip out for Jourdain. They continue to outwork Carolina on the glass. Ball fake from Smith, and the right side for the layup. 8-0 Memphis run, and that will end on the Withers throwdown.
Nothing makes the coach madder than off a made basket, the other team to get a layup on the other end.
Okogie, tough shot.
And there's the switch.
To go, tough to try and connect there with Rubin. Another Carolina turnover. And then stepping on the sideline was Rogers.
How about Jourdain? What a start for him. For Memphis, he's going to take a seat, Beth, but I thought he did a great job of being active and athletic on the glass. He's got the most experience on this roster for Penny Hardaway, returning as one of the guys that played a lot last year. Of course, we've talked about the turnover on the roster. That's not just here, it's everywhere. It's college basketball now.
I like how Jourdain has grown into a leadership role as that from a year ago. Trimble is checked back into the game now for Carolina. Tyson gets a clear look. And a foul on the rebound.
Good work by Washington.
Both sides a little rusty from downtown, Debbie. They were combined 0 for 11.
You know, I mean, Cade Tyson has missed his first three attempts, maybe rushed a little bit. It's different spacing on the floor that North Carolina will be dealing with. I don't really think any of their bigs are going to demand a double to start the season, so they're going to stay locked in on shooters.
Foul was called. Pat Adams, Don Daly, and Ron Groover, the officials for tonight's exhibition matchup. This Hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic here at the FedEx Forum. Memphis, Tennessee. Tyson's pass deflected, taken away. 4 Carolina turnovers already.
Several deflections on Memphis' length defensively.
Tie up, a takeaway, a ball fake. Almost an and one.
That's an example of the toughness that Penny Hardaway is talking about with his guys.
Well, special early in a season, right, Debbie, with a lot of new guys. You know that playing time's available, and it comes down to hustle, right?
Yeah, you know, at this time of the year, sometimes you don't see a lot of separation in practice. You don't have a chance to match up against anybody else but yourselves, and you get some good film, and guys have an opportunity. That's why they're here.
Make the coach have to keep you on the floor. And they are earning this lead at the free throw line right now. 9 for 10. Carolina's 1 for 1. And one of the big reasons why, Debbie, is Memphis has been really good off the bounce. The dribble drive has been a problem for the Carolina defense.
Well, they're disruptive on the defensive end as well, which gets them into the open floor, which is the way they want to play.
Cadeau fires it cross court. Jackson, nope. Another one and done.
Memphis
Stay at this end.
keeping pressure on the heels with their defensive effort and their downhill transition game. And they are disruptive. Okoji with a steal. The eyes immediately up. Jourdain with the finish. Memphis up early.
To 13, Memphis on top of North Carolina. A very special guest now joining us courtside, Armando Bacot. Let's see, let's check out the record books, Armando. #1 all-time in rebounds, #2 in points. Tied for the ACC double-double record, and now you're a pro here in Memphis. What's it like for you to be on this side watching your old teammates?
Oh, it's so crazy. I've been in Carolina forever, so to be able to watch as a fan, I mean, it's definitely great. I miss it every day, but just super excited to see where this team goes. It's a young team this year, and obviously RJ going into his 5th year and just stepping into this fully being his team. I mean, I'm just super excited.
Well, they're missing you on the glass tonight. What's your assessment here so far in the first half?
Yeah, we need more of a team effort on the boards, I definitely think. We can't just put all the stress on Jay Wash. We need Van hopping in there, helping the rebound, even all the way down to Elliott, just a team effort, because obviously missing Harrison Ingram, who was an amazing rebounder. Obviously me, Cormac was a great rebounder, so now just as a team, we got to come more together.
Not as much size on this lineup, right? A little less perimeter size, a little less size on the interior, so you're talking about gang rebounding, but definitely Memphis' length has seemed to bother the Tar Heels a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us not having RJ, that's definitely huge, especially in the beginning game like this, because there's a lot of guys that's getting their first action. You look at Jay Wash, it's his first start, first time really playing big minutes, so obviously it's going to be a little jitters and nerve. Cade, first time playing at UNC in front of a big crowd. Then you got Ian and obviously Drake, the 2 freshmen, so just trying to get them to settle in, not having RJ, I mean, that's honestly a huge not having them, but I think we'll settle in and we'll be good, though.
I want to know from you about Jalen Washington. He went against you in practice for a couple of years. Every day he's going to get his opportunity this year. What have you seen in him, or what do you know about him that makes you think he's going to have a good year?
Super skilled. There's nothing on the court he can't do. It's going to take him some time just to settle in, just because he has not played the volume of minutes, obviously, just with me being there and a lot of the other guys. But I think throughout the year he'll definitely be a lot better. Early on at UNC, they'll be tested early. You got to match up with Hunter Dickinson and a lot of those big guys. So I think he'll definitely learn a lot from himself just going on. But I'm definitely very confident in him having a big year and being able to be that anchor down low.
Memphis enjoying their biggest lead now into double digits tonight. You mentioned the schedule. You got Kentucky early, you got Alabama out in Maui, possibly UConn out in Maui. So they'll be challenged early. What are you hearing about the 2 freshmen? Do you remember what it was like as a freshman? That was a lot of years ago for you. But
I do remember how I was as a freshman. I don't know if I was as good as those 2 and as athletic. And I've been hearing a lot of great reviews from them. The good thing about those guys is they're willing to learn and they play hard. And that's half of the battle right there, and I'm expecting a huge season out of both of them.
Hubert Davis also talked to us about a guy like Seth Trimble. There's Elliott Cadeau with the dig, and he'll drive, block down low. Second chance, rolls out. but a guy like Seth Trimble, who continues to elevate his game every year. As Memphis knocks down the triple, Hubert's got to call the timeout.
2 timeouts for the Tar Heels. One because of offensive rebounding. This one because North Carolina not getting back in transition on defense.
I'll definitely be practicing transition defense. Definitely will. Oh, I guess it's not a timeout.
Yeah, what happened?
They're
Stoppage.
going to stay. 27-16 here in our exhibition matchup You look at the Memphis side, a lot of new guys, and that seems to be the way things are now in college basketball. What is the challenge, as one of a leader on that team like Nicholas Jordan, to get guys together quickly to start the season?
I mean, it's tough because you never know how good your team will be until you really get out there. You get a lot of new guys coming from different conferences and different walks of life, so it's really just important to just come together really early on in the season. And as a coach, you got to try a bunch of different lineups, seeing what works. So, I mean, it's just a whole new look in just college basketball in general.
North Carolina trying to play with more pace. Do you think they're playing or going to try to play faster than with you on the floor? Because you were a big man that could run. For
sure, but we definitely have to lean into it even more because we're undersized. I mean, I think just our athleticism with this team, this is one of the most athletic UNC teams we've seen in a long time. And if they can lean in on that and be the fastest team, that'll definitely be our strength. That's a good move.
Well, the problem for North Carolina right now is 0 for 8 early from the three-point line.
Trimble will try and end that.
There we go. Seth will have a big year this year. He's been underrated, I think, for the last 2 years. He did a lot of great stuff for us last year, and he was in the running for Sixth Man of the Year.
Yep.
And, I mean, I think he has the talent to be an all-ACC Sixth Man of the Year type guy this year. And just the jumps he's made and his confidence, and he could always shoot the ball, but I think now he's more confident. And just with his athleticism, the way he can guard the ball, he definitely can be huge.
You know, you're going to need to learn that's the announcer's jinx. Whenever you say they hadn't made one, they make one, or you say they're not a good free throw shooter and they make them. You know, that's part of what happens over here.
I love it.
How's the transition going for you to the pros, playing here in Memphis with the Grizz?
Yes, it's been great. I really love playing with the Grizzlies. It's a great culture, great coaching staff. Love all my teammates. Jahi's been really good at just leading us and helping me make the transition, so it's been great.
I looked at you walking around earlier today. It looks like you trimmed up a little bit, got a little tighter.
I have been, man. They've been running us a lot. We've been getting up and down that floor.
Well, you got to play the speed, right, and pace. You're playing a little 4 for these guys, too?
A little 4, yes.
I like it.
It's been great. A lot of fun.
Sitting courtside here with Armando Bacot, Beth Mullins, along with Debbie Antonelli in this exhibition showdown. North Carolina and Memphis, and there's Washington in the lane.
Nice short roll off that pick and roll game. But what's happening to Memphis now is they're starting to pinch in just a little bit more because North Carolina hasn't shot it well from the perimeter. North Carolina very good going downhill, though, getting to the free throw line and putting some pressure at the rim.
I think that'll be one of the most important things for the team this year, though, being able to knock down that shot, because us being an undersized team, we really can't lean into the paint as much as we want to. So if we can really knock down shots, that'll help us a lot.
That's going to be a traveling violation. And that is the whistle for the timeout. Armando, thank you so much. We appreciate the time.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, glad you could be with us. Well done.
Yes,
other than a couple of wheeze for Carolina, we'll let that slide in your debut.
I got to remember I'm not here anymore.
I'm used to throwing some bows at Beth. I didn't mind throwing a few at you while the action was going on down there. Thanks, Armando Bacot.
Appreciate y'all.
More Carolina-Memphis coming up.
We have 1 minute for you to get as many points as you can.
Tyrese Hunter, the 6-foot senior, off to a great start, playing through the nail. 3 for 4 from the floor, doing a good job of sprinting up the court in transition to the slot for a triple. He's got 7 points to lead Memphis in scoring early on. This is a preseason first-team pick in the AAC and a former Big 12 Freshman of the Year at Iowa State. Known as a great on-ball defender, but an incredible two-way player for Penny Hardaway.
This is his 3rd stop, Iowa State, then Texas, and now here. He's already scored 1,000 points. And a lot of the other Tigers, Penny Hardaway was telling us, looked to him to lead. And that will be one of his key roles. We talked a little bit about that with Armando Bacot, how quickly you can get a group of transfers together to play for that name on the front of the jersey, which is one of the things that Penny has tried to instill in this preseason to get them ready for a daunting schedule on their own. They have exhibitions not only against Carolina, but against Alabama as well. And really has encouraged his guys to come out feisty and act like it's a regular season game. They are also going to be in Maui and will open up against Connecticut, the 2-time defending champs.
Good help, good hedge, good rotation by Memphis defensively. He's got to be ready to shoot that, Tyson.
Tyson
puts it on the deck. North Carolina not having any trouble getting to the rim off the bounce. Tyson knows they're going to come with long closeouts on him. He has to be able to make those plays.
Working their way back into it. They've trailed by as many as double digits. And an over-the-back foul called on Dane Danger, as the Tar Heels now have put together a 6-0 run of their own.
Foul number 42, Dane Danger, the second.
North Carolina has made 4 of their last 4 shot attempts. So coming off that timeout, Hubert Davis, no matter the lineup, they're starting, they look more aggressive. You know, they just look like they've settled in a little bit since the very first couple of minutes of the game.
Jourdain checks back in for Memphis. And James Brown, another member of this freshman class out of Aurora, Illinois. Out of Link Academy in Branson, Missouri, the same as Elliott Cadeau. And look at how quickly Memphis scoots up the floor. Jared Harris, their highly touted rookie, and the preseason American Freshman of the Year. Cadeau, Jourdain able to bother the shot.
Hey, Hunter went under that ball screen of Cadeau as well, and that's the way he was defended most of last year. Icing that ball.
Offensive foul.
Watch the eyes up by Haggerty, and the freshman Harris running the lane hard, finishing at the rim.
Out of Silsbee, Texas. That's what Penny Hardaway talked about, his ability to run the floor and finish. Those long arms.
I think you're trying to figure out rotations. It's exhibition game. But Penny Hardaway did tell us that he does have more depth and more talent to play the way he wants to play. And that's what Cadeau needs to do. He can't turn that down. He's got to be able to knock that down and be a threat from the top of the floor.
Sophomore out of West Orange, New Jersey. Can he add that to his arsenal this season?
He knows that Hunter went under the last ball screen.
And a charge taken as the momentum has shifted to Carolina. Here under 6 to go in the first half.
Watch Cadeau right here step into this triple. He's got to be a threat up there. And then he takes the charge outside the restricted area. Back-to-back plays for Elliott Cadeau, the sophomore, who, remember, reclassified and was supposed to be a senior in high school last year. Should just be a freshman this year. Expect him to have that jump that you see from freshman to sophomore year.
Had 150 assists last year. That's the most for a Carolina freshman since his assistant coach, Marcus Page, did it a decade ago.
I definitely think he's a tremendous compliment to R.J. Davis in the backcourt. They're smaller guards, but they're quick and explosive, so they can minimize that lack of size.
Trimble, strapping inside. Seth has scored in double figures here in the first half. A little chaotic. An air ball on the shot from Hunter.
Wow, the athleticism is just amazing.
That ball should have gone out of bounds about 4 times. And they were able to keep it alive.
Watch the hustle right here. A lot of hang time.
A lot of spin moves. Unintentional. Haggerty looking to get it right back. Smith keeps his dribble alive. And Tyson with the rebound. Cadeau head up. On the run, Withers stripped and fouled.
Good push, good rebound. Tar Heels running the floor hard. That's the thing, you got shooters that run to the corners. It opens up the middle third. When you have a strong rim runner like Withers, who that time runs the middle and owns the middle of the floor. Cadeau with his eyes up. That's the pace that Hubert Davis wants to play with this group.
We'll be able to see the Tar Heels in action for their season opener. Coming up on November 4th, ACC Network has a doubleheader for you. At 7 Eastern, it's Duke, Maine. And then at 9 Eastern, North Carolina, Elon. That's November 4th, the doubleheader on ACC Network to open up the season.
And Bethany Jackson played 7 minutes. Now Hubert Davis sits him on the bench, brings him back out. Now watch what happens to this young freshman. He is so talented. Sometimes you just got to get a feel, get a little sweat, take a seat, settle in.
Right now his guard is the other freshman, Jared Harris. Hunter bumped and fouled by Tyson.
Yeah, that's where Tyson has the experience on the top of the floor. Got it all spaced out, gets the switch with a big. Tyson is trying to defend him one-on-one off the bounce, and Hunter is going to win that battle.
All part of the Hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic. 100% of the ticket proceeds tonight benefiting the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital here in Memphis. St. Jude leads the way for how the world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer. Still to come on ESPN Plus, Memphis women against #1 South Carolina. The defending national champs sit atop the AP poll that came out today, as they look to go back-to-back. Withers with a nice catch, assist Tyson.
When you swing it back to the three-man side, you get that 45-degree cut, and then you go two-man game. Really good execution between Tyson and Withers. You got to move the defense, move them off that eye.
They get the switch again, looking to pick on Tyson defensively. And Cade got a hand in there to strip it loose. The push and the turnover. Numbers now for Memphis. Haggerty, no, and Smith is there as Tyreek cleans it up.
PJ Haggerty from point A to point B is one of the quickest with the ball on this Memphis team.
Withers, a little tired on that three. Hunter with the cross into the lane, around and out. Chance to tie it or take the lead now for UNC. Whip pass, Tyson for that lead, no.
Tyson's got to keep shooting. 0 for 4 from 3. Playing with a new pace. It's a 2-point ball game here in an exhibition game in Memphis. Two-point lead for Memphis. Watch the space by North Carolina right here. And then when Withers catches the ball, you're going to see a 45-degree cut right here. Hold it right here. Here comes the cut to clear space. Here comes the lift up into the two-man game. Okay, it's going to be a dribble handoff. Watch what Withers does after he makes the dribble handoff. Okay, freeze it right here. He doesn't get a piece of him, but watch what he does right here. He is looking to roll to the rim as quickly as he can. The low man for Memphis is Gambles, which leaves a lane for Withers to the rim. Very well executed by the Tar Heels.
Well spaced.
Got to have space.
Memphis with the 2-point lead. 3 ties, 4 lead changes. Memphis has been up by as much as 11, and it's another opportunity here for Carolina to tie it up or regain the lead. Second Trimble gets it right back. Neither side has been proficient from downtown. They've been much better off the bounce and getting inside.
And ever since Armando Bacot sat over here with us, North Carolina seems to have rebounded better. They have only given up, 8 offensive rebounds, where they had given up 5 offensive rebounds in the first 4.5 minutes.
The Bacot bounce, is that what we're calling it? The budding announcer after his playing days are done. Rogers hits from deep.
And just playing off the screen. It's a nice job of using that screen on the wing.
Memphis, good balance. They've been hitting the glass. They've been getting to the free throw line.
Well, North Carolina missed a mistaken rotation by Memphis, but when you have high hands on the ball handler, which is a great defensive habit to have, you can take some vision away.
7 turnovers now for Carolina. 6 for Memphis. Exhibition matchup, the Hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic. First of our doubleheader, the South Carolina women and Memphis coming up next on ESPN+. Rogers finds some space.
I love that they go right back to Rogers after he hits a shot, right? That's not overcoaching it, that's smart, and that's Tyrese Hunter knowing what to call.
A whistle off the ball. That's going to be on Cade Tyson. Elliot Cadeau working up a sweat in this exhibition game, running the point again this year for the Tar Heels.
Remember, R.J. Davis not available today after that back injury he suffered in the blue-white game. Nothing major, though, just precautionary. We did see him do a little bit of shoot-around today. Not much.
We're looking for Rogers again, and he was stationary, and the pass goes awry. There you see RJ looking on.
I mean, 21 points a game last year, the ACC Player of the Year, the preseason pick for Player of the Year this year, which just came out today.
Only Tar Heel with 2,000 points, 500 rebounds, 400 assists, 100 steals, and 250 threes.
You have me at only Tar Heel. When you say that about anybody.
Right there.
Ooh, that's a hard screen. That's a
was.
snake behind the screen.
Withers cleans the glass. His 6th rebound of this first half. Good footwork, and he tries to muscle his way inside. And Jalen draws the foul. Second year now at Carolina after he started out at Louisville.
I mean, handles a little bump, gets to the paint, to the front of the rim. North Carolina definitely looks like they're built for speed downhill, you know, without Armando Bacot on the floor, which is something that you're going to talk about a lot because it's a new look for the Heels. More of a 5-out, more pull the bigs away, roll to the rim, a little short roll action as well because they can make plays in the high post area. Definitely changed some of their ball screen coverages.
It's the second one, a 4-point game. That ends a 3-minute scoring drought for the Heels.
Memphis likes to go shooters in the corner, dunker spot, work out of the middle third. Just like that. Good scoop over there by Haggerty.
Third pass to Handle. And off the bounce for 3.
If you can get 2 or 3 closeouts on an offensive possession, usually you're going to have an open look. It's not always the first action, Beth. It's sometimes the second. A lot of times, the really veteran, experienced teams can get to that third action.
Trimble able to split a couple of defenders. He's got a dozen to lead the way tonight for Carolina. Took a knock to the eyes trying to shake that off.
Yeah, look at the spacing on the floor. Nobody at the nail. 5 out. Dunker spot is the spot below the backboard in the short corner.
Haggerty, the sidestep three, got his feet tangled, no whistle. Trimble steps through and scores again. What a beautiful move.
Nice Euro.
Can pretty much hold for one here in a one-possession game before the half. And Penny calls the hard out to set something up. Back for the finish here in the first half in a moment. Memphis by 3, and they'll have the ball as they come out of the timeout. Don't forget, we are set at halftime to take a look at the preseason rankings. The AP poll out, the ACC poll is out. And also an up-close and a personal look at Cooper Flagg of the Duke Blue Devils, a guy that the Tar Heels will have to contend with during the regular season, as well as the rest of the ACC.
Go 1-4 or 1-3 high. Like this is like a 2-guard front here. Nobody below the free throw line. Everybody lifted. Look for a back door.
Hunter. Haggerty knocked out of bounds. 3.8 to go. Shot clock off.
Really slow getting into that.
Rogers, the fade, short.
Good film for later. That's why we're playing it.
The hoops for St. Jude. Tip-off classic. The exhibition matchup, North Carolina and Memphis. Tigers by 3 over the Tar Heels in the first game of our doubleheader tonight with the South Carolina Memphis women still to come. Halftime coming your way. Your leading scorers at the half: Trimble for Carolina, Haggerty for Memphis in our exhibition matchup on this October the 15th, opening day around the country, November 4th. Both these teams will be out in Maui for Feast Week. Still to come on ESPN Plus, coming up next, the #1 ranked South Carolina women taking on the Memphis women right here at FedEx Forum. Beth Mullins alongside Debbie Antonelli, and we are ready to go for this second half.
North Carolina's obviously has to clean up the boards, which we knew that would be a question mark for them this season early on. And Memphis has gotten to the free throw line more. North Carolina's got to improve on their transition defense. And Penny Hardaway's got to be pleased with the aggressive toughness that his team has played with, particularly on the defensive end.
Dane Danger. Who faces inside. They want to run a lot through him. What was Penny telling us at shoot-around? Don't forget about the big man.
Well, he's got a new role. When he was at Illinois, he played about 10 minutes a game and played a different role. We're going to count on him inside. And the first possession, a shot clock violation for North Carolina. What a start. Everyone off the bench for the Heels that time, clapping. You can see they're all engaged.
And Penny not thrilled with that possession. His new coaching staff: Mike Davis, the former head coach at Indiana; Nolan Smith, the former national champion and assistant coach at Duke; Andre Turner's over there, former Memphis legend; and Washington able to knock it down.
North Carolina did not shoot the three well in the first half, just 2 for 13.
That one ties it up. Memphis is led by as many as 11 in that first half, and now a takeaway and a chance to grab the lead.
Back-to-back plays by Washington.
Tyson blocked. Colby Rogers rejects him. They've denied Carolina 3 times in possessions where they could take the lead.
Washington trying to front Danger.
Rogers fouled on the reach. That's on Trimble. No RJ Davis, out with a back contusion, expected to be back in plenty of time for the start of the regular season. The debut here for Ian Jackson and Drake Powell, the 2 highly touted freshmen. They've been quiet so far in that first half.
Same for Cade Tyson. He only had 1 basket. He missed all his 3-point attempts.
Same for Jared Harris on the other side. So a lot of either the freshmen or guys that have stepped up a level in the competition, trying to work their way into a faster-paced game.
You know, the coaches will tell you 3 weeks of practice. They've been together most of the summer. Takes time.
Tar Heels, the reigning ACC regular season champs. Preseason prediction is 2nd place behind Duke, and another block. That time it's Jourdain. Collision and a blocking foul going to be called on North Carolina.
How about the activity level of Jourdain? Very impressive in the first half with a couple of dunks. Here he is at the rim with a block. Good weak side help.
Well, you asked Penny today at shoot-around, it takes a special kind of personality when you're the only guy really in the rotation that was here a year ago to mesh your game with the new guys. And Jourdain wants to take advantage of the opportunity. Trimble with the flush at the other end.
Now that is some serious vertical. Wow. But yes, to go back to your point about Jourdain, you know, coaches doing their job have to keep recruiting over you. You know, like they have to keep bringing in more talent, and it's up to you to change and adjust your role. And he's certainly done that early on.
That bucket at the other end giving Carolina their first lead since early in the first half. Cadeau, another block. That's the third swat in the first 2.5 minutes of this second half.
Well, we knew there was going to be rim protection, right? I didn't know it was going to come in the form of Jourdain. I thought it was more of the last two guys here, Smith and Cisse, and we have not seen Cisse in the game tonight.
4 blocks now for Memphis. Yeah, their new additions include the 7-footer Cisse.
See that shot that Cadeau just turned down? R.J. Davis isn't turning that down.
Cadeau off the bounce, lays it in with the right hand.
But if you can get to the rim at will, like Elliot Cadeau can do with his change of pace, you got to sprinkle in the 3 just a little bit to stay a threat on top of the floor.
And he gets a hand in a passing lane to knock it loose. Cadeau making plays. Had 7 assists in that first half. That is the 4th block already of this half. Danger gets that one. Mid-range. And the home bounce for Colby Rogers.
Rogers saw Tyson pick him up on the top of the floor, and he's just going for the quick hitter one-on-one.
Cadeau.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, going under a screen on Cadeau, and he's like, you did that the first half. I don't think you should do that to me on the second half.
All ACC freshman team a year ago, running the show for the Tar Heels. Danger wants it down on the block, going to work hard off the glass. Here comes Carolina again. Cadeau, tough catch and one. What a play by Seth Trimble. To hang on it, to hang, and to finish.
Look at the transition game off their defense. The Heels with a couple of defensive plays, consecutive back-to-back, and they're off and running a 12-3 run by the Heels to start the second half. North Carolina down 3 at the half, and then the second half has been Elliot Cadeau, the sophomore for the Heels. The drive, the steal, one of 4 here to start the second half for North Carolina. And you go under, or you don't get over the top of that screen. Okay, Elliot Cadeau, we know you worked hard in the offseason. We asked him at shoot-around, how much time you spent working on your 3? He gave it a very simple answer, a lot.
Succinct. But his game is speaking volumes. 9 points, 9 assists. You know how many double-doubles he had last year, Debbie?
0.
And I know it's only an exhibition, but his career high in assists, 10 against Tennessee last fall.
That should be getting all busted up here tonight.
Only an exhibition game. Season opener will be November 4th against Elon. But their defense has picked it up a notch here in the second half.
That's the difference. That's allowed them to get out on a run, even though the block shots has been significant. Memphis with 5 turnovers on those 6 Tar Heel steals.
Just 2 shot attempts. Hunter around and down.
Or I should say 6 steals together. Altogether 4 in this second half.
Trimble got into trouble, found the trail. Lubin short. Okoji off the cross. Hunter. Lubin, the 6'8" junior from Orlando with the rebound. Here's Jackson. Let's see if the freshman can get something going. It has been tough sledding for Jackson. Minus 16 in his plus-minus.
He's excited, right? I mean, we know how good he can be. He's just playing a little too quickly, trying to do too much, right? And not a surprise, right? He wants a big splash, excited about playing, right? We're all excited about the start of college basketball.
New York City kid from the Bronx, 7th on the ESPN recruiting list. Drake Powell, 14th, and there's a jam for Memphis and Tyreek Smith.
Really good action. We did not see that play call in the first half. Save a little something for the second.
Couple of good possessions out of that last time out for Penny Hardaway's club.
2 bumps in a post right there. How about that?
A pass behind Smith.
Oh, I thought that was a travel. Again, Jackson passed it behind Paul. The fans are in regular season
Yes,
form.
they are. They're ready to go. Cadeau, tough shot. And then the strip of Jourdain, and then tried to wrap the pass to Lubin. Hunter, Jourdain in the trail. Boy, has he been smooth in transition tonight. Back to a 1-point game. Trimble gets the feet right and hits the three.
Cadeau is so good at advanced passing up the floor. He sees the floor, he advances it, which allows North Carolina to get into their secondary. See that right there, an example of moving the ball up the floor. Numbers already for the Heels.
Powell fouled on the drive.
When you advance pass it, it's faster than dribbling. And when you can get up the court and you run the way the Heels run, and you know how wide they run the floor. To the corner, middle third opens up. We're going to review this.
I think they were, the Carolina bench wanted a goal.
Yes. Well, if you're Penny Hardaway, the way you've been blocking shots, can't be upset about that.
They have 5 blocks.
Officials come over and tell us they're going to check for the number of free throws. Goaltending call on the floor, so the basket is good.
After review, the call of the floor stands, basket counts. Goaltending is called score.
We're going to have 1 free throw. Appreciate the officials.
Oh, they've been great.
Coming over and keeping us up to date so we can keep you informed.
They're working into form too.
Got to do a lot of running in this game. This has been fast.
Powell at the line, the freshman out of Pittsburgh, North Carolina. And his running mate Jackson gets the rebound. Hubert Davis raved about their humility, their work ethic. And even though for some of these guys their time in a Memphis or Carolina jersey is short, they are all in for this season. Got an opportunity to play at Carolina and Memphis. Trimble's making a statement too. Seth, 22 points. His career high in a regular season game is 12. Nice backdoor cut. Haggerty can't get the and one, but he's got a trip to the line coming as the defender Trimble turned his head.
You have to stay active and engaged on the weak side. You can't let somebody cut across the front of your face on that kill cut, that 45-degree cut. especially Haggerty, who is so explosive. You turn your head and he is gone.
So Haggerty to the line. They had their AAC meetings this weekend. Commissioner Tim Pernetti talked about what he loves about the conference, their blue-collar lunch bucket mentality he talked about. And a fight for whatever they can get in the league and non-conference, and hopefully for Memphis, NCAA tournament. That is the #1 priority, winning for Penny Hardaway. That's why I brought in winners on his coaching staff and winners in the portal.
Multiple teams, right? UAB, the preseason pick. Andy Kennedy done a fantastic job in his 3 years. Yaxel Lendenborg, preseason pick for Player of the Year.
Working it inside, and the finish for Jalen Washington.
Good duck in. Good interior passing.
Carolina opening up the 7-point advantage, spurred by their defensive effort early in this second half. And there's another takeaway.
Good D by Washington.
Trimble keeps. Little Scotty hook. And a foul.
You got to save a little something for the second half. Everybody cleared out and down the lane line. Smith with the jam. North Carolina up 7 here in the second.
Kansas, your preseason favorites. They sit atop the AP preseason poll. UConn there at #3, going for the three-peat for the first time in men's college basketball since UCLA in the 1970s. The only 2 ACC schools on that list, Duke and Carolina. And a conference that Commissioner Jim Phillips says is undervalued, Debbie. That's the buzzword. They've had the most NCAA tournament wins the last 3 years, and 4 different schools, including Carolina, have been to the Final Four in the last 3 seasons.
Well, the record in the NCAA tournament has been outstanding.
Yep. NC State last year at the Final Four. Haggerty fouled, and he has a shot at a 3-point play.
North Carolina Duke 3 years ago, Miami 2 years ago, NC State last year.
Duke has that terrific freshman class coming in. Changing of the guard at Louisville with their new coach, Pat Kelsey. He's turned over that roster with the transfer portal.
Virginia claims they're going to play faster. Clemson has got a great backcourt coming back.
Off of the Elite 8.
Ian Shefflin, one of the preseason picks for second team in the ACC.
And Wake Forest picked 3rd in the preseason poll. Can they finally land on the right side of the bubble?
I think Hunter Salas playing a little point, giving him a positional size on the floor for Steve Forbes at Wake.
It all gets underway on November 4th. ACC Network doubleheader for you with Duke first and Carolina second.
And let me mention this too, Beth. Right now, Trimble and Cadeau combined 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. That's exactly what Hubert Davis is going to need out of them alongside R.J. Davis when he is healthy and ready to play. But Trimble last year was a 42% 3-point shooter on a small sample size. Cadeau was a 19% 3-point shooter. So they both knew they needed to, especially Cadeau, significantly improve, and he put the time in.
And Trimble is having himself a night here in this exhibition matchup. 22 points on 9 of 13 shooting.
Well, one of the things Hubert Davis told us today was Trimble came here to North Carolina as a really good defender, and each year he's improved his offensive skill set. So you already got the lockdown ability.
Rogers out of the trail. Yeah, you got to keep adding something to your game when your coaching staff brings in top 5 recruiting classes year in, year out. Cadeau looking for another three. Hunter has it. He and Haggerty have been quiet offensively in this second half, hence the Carolina lead. Haggerty blocked by the freshman, Drake Powell.
Well, I think Memphis is going to have to change the pace of this game on the defensive end. They've got to change the rhythm. North Carolina looks comfortable running their stuff. In the first half, they built that 11-point lead because they were so disruptive with their defense.
Hunter tried to drop it off Jordan on the pass.
Got to have your hands ready.
Yep. Guys that haven't played much together. Trying to work through some things here early. Cadeau, the floater. On the blocking foul.
And this is just a great read by Elliot Cadeau. He's so explosive. He rejects the screen. The help, ooh, looks like it might be there outside the restricted area. Pat Adams, a veteran official. You got to look at that plant foot. Was the plant foot first or was the defender set up first? That's what the officials are told to look at. It's the toughest call in the game, man.
Into double digits now for Carolina. 10-point lead, just over 10 to go, and it's a double-double now for Elliot Cadeau. 11 points, 10 assists. Here he is with the takeaway on the run. Jackson, and a patient whistle and a foul.
Foul number 3, Goldie Rogers, his second. Number 16.
Now watch Ian Jackson. Foul on the arm right there. Patient, because if the ball had gone in, I think the officials would have let it go. That's why you say patient.
Jackson with his first point of the night.
Jalen Washington takes the seat. A couple of triples here in the second half. Looked much more confident in the second half. Gonna take some time, right? I mean, that's the fun part about October 15. Where do you see both of these teams when we get closer to March? You can see they have the tools. They have the ability to play with pace. They have the ability to be unscripted in their offensive attack because they've got enough playmakers. And Jordan again. Clear everybody out, go two-man game on the strong side. It's just really good read again. Okogie doing a good job of getting it inside Jordan, handling a little contact. Playing through the contact.
9 points, 8 rebounds for Nicholas tonight. Memphis trying to work their way back into this despite 10 turnovers in this second half. And finally one goes down for Cade Tyson.
I'm telling you, Cadeau sees the floor so well.
Memphis tries to respond with 3. And the steal. Rogers in the trail, wide open, got it.
Koji patient, saw him coming into the slot. Same pass.
Tyson this time off the bounce. He's had a couple of nice baseline drives tonight.
Good fill behind. Twist.
Hunter and Jordan working. The skip, Okogie. And Cadeau is there to rebound.
Maybe Hunter a little unselfish there.
A reach-in foul, and I think Hubert was a little upset at Tyson being a little passive there.
I think he wants him to shoot that. That was clearly a foul.
This is 17. Returning for the Tar Heels, number 7, Seth Trimble. Targeting for the Tigers, number 1, Jared Harris.
So Tyson to the free throw line. North Carolina, by the way, 8 for 16 at the stripe, just 50% tonight.
I'm sure his brother Hunter is watching. We were talking about Clemson before. Clemson, Hunter Tyson is Cade's brother. Playing with the Denver Nuggets right now.
Jourdain lost it and then took it right back. Rogers pulls up. Cadeau elevates for it, he'll push. Tries to step through and took a lot of steps. And that was trouble. Officials say he was juggling the ball. Powell off the bounce. Here's Trimble, corner three. Got it.
Elliot Cadeau really pushing, and this is the leadership component. You can see how much fun he's having, distributing the basketball, playing at a high level, playing with his elite speed in the open floor, and giving North Carolina a 14-point lead.
6 of 8 from downtown in the second half for the Tar Heels to open it up. Under 8 to go. 72-58, big burst here in the second half for North Carolina to open things up. 7:57 to go in our exhibition matchup. The Hoops for St. Jude tip-off classic here at FedEx Forum. Beth Mullins and Debbie Antonelli.
What a fun event, right? With purpose to tell the stories and share the stories of St. Jude and their families and the incredible help and support they get here in this community.
All the student athletes visited St. Jude yesterday. Nice pick and roll and another assist for Elliot Cadeau. That's a dozen. Double-double for him tonight. Good shot fake and then a pass to Antonelli here. Courtside.
Good hands, right?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but Elliot Cadeau, he can pass it, he can shoot it. Nice dish there, the drop off to Lubin. It's a dozen dimes. %100% of the ticket proceeds from tonight's games benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital here in Memphis. St. Jude leads the way for how the world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer and puts smiles on faces. Debbie, families never receive a bill for their treatment at St. Jude, so the families can focus solely on the care of their child. And all 4 of the teams here tonight had a special visit with the youngsters over at St. Jude this week.
Thank goodness there's places like this in the world to help families in need. And I think giving is a skill. And I think these players have learned something while here. I certainly know, talking to Dawn Staley's group, they were excited about having a chance to take their players over there today. They'll be in our second game.
It's the Hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic. South Carolina winning, Memphis winning, coming up on ESPN+. And Dane Danger draws the block.
I think Memphis has to speed up the game, so they can do that in a variety of ways. Not just pushing in transition, but they have to change what they do defensively. So I would look for a change right here. Let's see if they pick up full court off this made free throws.
Danger last year a starter at Illinois. Averaged 6 points, 3 rebounds a game. They are looking for more productivity as one of the focal points to run their offense through this year, according to Penny Hardaway.
Well, Jalen Washington from North Carolina checking back in has had a much better second half. He's been on the glass. He's knocked down a couple of triples. They ran an out-of-bounds play for him to hit a three.
15 points. Double-double for Elliot Cadeau tonight. 20-plus for Trimble.
What a pass by Seth Trimble.
Gonna get a foul on the rebound.
North Carolina's got to be thinking a little bit of time to score right here. You know, you push if it's available. I'm not saying hold the ball. I'm just saying, you know.
Not saying four corners
right,
or
no,
anything.
no.
Well, they have erased some of the disadvantages from earlier in the game when Memphis was up by as many as 11. They've sort of evened things out on the glass. Their defense has turned the turnover game into their favor.
Well, I thought North Carolina's second half, their tone, 4 turnovers for Memphis, 4 steals for the Heels, and they were gone. I mean, flying up the floor.
And 6 of 9 shooting from downtown after they only made 2 in the first half. It's been a big difference from Trimble and Cadeau. And Trimble gets another trip to the free throw line.
He has been so aggressive for North Carolina. 10 for 14 from the floor. He's made his free throws. He doesn't have any rebounds, but he does have 3 assists.
25 points to lead the way for the Tar Heels on an exhibition night where they are without R.J. Davis.
Can't have enough guards in college basketball, but North Carolina's got quite a few. Trimble and Cadeau both improved. We say R.J. Davis, the preseason pick for Player of the Year after Player of the Year and a consensus All-American last year. That's 21 points not playing tonight.
Hunter hangs. Powell with the rebound. Still going through the learning curve for Powell and Jackson. They're combined 1 for 8 offensively tonight for the 2 freshmen. And the takeaway and the throwdown for freshman Jared Harris for Memphis. Still not done yet.
Start trapping some ball screen coverage right here. See if they change it up, speed it up a little bit. They've been icing on the side.
Hubert Davis yelling from the sideline to his guys to be strong with the basketball, and they lose it again.
Back-to-back steals and back-to-back buckets. You got to put some game pressure on North Carolina right here. Crowd starting to find it. This is a good timeout.
Hubert Davis wants to talk about it. The Tigers are a steal and a score away from making this thing really interesting, and Hubert's getting after the guys. Memphis getting good ball pressure late in this one to turn up the heat, Debbie.
Well, we talked about changing the rhythm of the game and speeding it up, and this is one way you can do it. Crank it up on the defensive end. Doing a great job of being a little bit of a high risk, high reward. So I think Penny Hardaway keeps the ball pressure on. I think North Carolina better prepared for a little backdoor action, a little dribble penetration, ball fake, shot fake, all those things you have to have when you know a team is bringing their pressure package.
Haggerty, the top freshman scorer in the country at Tulsa a year ago. Let's see what Carolina calls out of the timeout here.
Well, the last time they ran a play for Washington for a 3. Looks like they're going to their horns.
Cadeau drives, floats, short. Washington, offensive rebound. And it's blocked from behind by Deja. Another chance for the Tar Heels. Trimble checks the shot clock, looking for the screen. Double from Memphis. Trimble, deep, short. The leak out the other way. Jourdain with the catch, and he missed the dunk. Fumbled away, a chance for the Tigers.
And when you've been in big game environments like Cadeau has been in, look at the change in rhythm for him.
And a reach-in foul and a chance here for a 4-point swing in Carolina's favor.
I like Cadeau on this set for offensively for Carolina. Got to use a little time, got to make the right read. And Jourdain just blows it. He hangs on the rim too much and bounces the ball back out. But Cadeau comes back down and shows that maturity from playing in a lot of big games last year for North Carolina.
That would have gotten it under 10, and instead it's Washington hitting on the first. Cadeau checks out here with 4.5 to go, replaced by the freshman Powell.
But giving Trimble a chance here to manage the end of the game.
Washington sinks a pair. On the drive, working on the rookie and takes him to the rack. Now it's Trimble at the point. Off the crossover, gets into the lane, short. Oh, what a play and a save and a breakout for Haggerty. Gets the lane, all set up by Okogie.
Toughness right here. Execution.
Offensive foul on Trimble.
Might they take a look at this one? I think they might. Contact above the shoulders. They're looking at it, Beth.
Taking a break, back in a moment. 3:45 to go, 78-69 North Carolina, but the foul here will give Memphis the ball back, Debbie.
If you see the elbow is in the chest area, not above the shoulders, the officials looked at it, they're going to keep it a common fouls. It's an offensive foul, no free throws here, but Memphis does get possession.
Oh, a triple here, and suddenly it's a 2-possession game. They'll work it inside instead. Danger goes to the left hand.
Danger buries his defender at the rim.
Memphis has made 5 of their last 6 shots. The Tar Heels have missed 5 in a row.
Cadeau back on the floor. Memphis switching.
Washington. Back out to Tyson for 3. Off the mark. Here comes Memphis again. Haggerty with the push. And a foul.
And this is just October 15. This has been great. Both teams able to make their run. Memphis making their run right now.
Penny Hardaway overhauled his coaching staff. He overhauled his roster. He talked about toughness, both physically and mentally, wanting to restore it to the Tiger program. They're showing some fight here late in this second half to work their way back into it.
And the North Carolina coaching staff has asked for a review of the last play.
Yeah, it's gonna be after the play. Watch Danger and Cadeau right there. That's what the officials are looking at after the play and the initial foul called.
So North Carolina asked for that. Don Daly has come over to the table.
So here comes the replay as Danger reaches with the left hand for the ball and then the right arm into Cadeau.
This would be a dead ball
Be a big swing
contact technical,
right here.
I believe, is what the terminology would be here, because it's after the play. The ball has already been blown dead. I think they called the foul on Tyson. Cade Tyson.
3:04 to go here in our Hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic. If you're looking for Louisiana Tech, New Mexico State football, that game will get underway on ESPN News. This is the first game of our doubleheader tonight on ESPN Plus. Coming up next, South Carolina women and the Memphis women. South Carolina, the newly named preseason #1 after their undefeated national championship a year ago. So it's going to be two free throws at both ends. Is that
So
what
it
we're hearing,
is.
Debbie?
It's dead ball, contact, technical. They'll shoot the free throws for the foul on
First at this
Tyson
end from
and this
Memphis.
end here from Memphis. Then they'll shoot the 2 shots for technical, for the non-dead ball, contact, technical, and then North Carolina will get the ball.
Well, that's a good call from the Tar Heel bench to take a look at that.
It's a really good
after
look.
the play. And it works out for UNC. And so that dead ball technical foul will be called on Dane Danger. And who gets possession after?
North Carolina, because you go back to the point of interruption, and after the East made free throws or free throws on this end, it would have been North Carolina's ball on a technical foul.
So Liberty will start things off with the 2 free throws.
Seems like a lot to adjudicate, but I definitely think the officials got it right, and it's a good call by Hubert Davis and his staff.
And 1 of 2 for Haggerty. Looks like Trimble will be the guy to shoot the tech.
You could pick anybody to shoot the technical fouls. Doesn't have to be Cadeau, since he was the one
on the receiving end.
Receiving end, yes.
So Trimble, who is 4 for 4 tonight. Will now look for his 29th point of the evening. And what a statement he's making.
Absolutely.
Want one of those starting jobs, Coach. And now the Tar Heels will also get the basketball.
Full court pressure. Got to be strong with the ball if you're North Carolina. And know that Memphis is trying to get a steal here. Put 2 on the ball. You got to be ready to move it.
And the officials say Carolina basketball. Oh boy,
that's a tough one. Untrappable, unflappable is Elliot Cadeau in these situations.
Under 3 minutes to go in this exhibition showdown. It's gotten a little feisty here down the stretch. Withers, that won't go. They're gonna lose it. Again, Hubert Davis upset that Cade Tyson didn't shoot the open 3.
I think Tyson's thinking time and score. But you know, the ball doesn't usually get rotated back to him, so when he catches it, he needs to be ready to score.
3 of 10 shooting, 1 for 6 from downtown for Cade. And now a chance for Memphis again to chip away. Knocked loose by Cadeau. The leak out for Trimble. Throwdown! 31 points! And the exclamation point for Trimble. To play. Rogers, the fadeaway 3 won't go. That'll stay at this end. The elevation for Seth Trimble.
He goes to a whole nother level right here.
Danger on the drive and a foul. Under 2 minutes to go. Louisiana Tech, New Mexico State football getting underway on ESPN News. So danger to the stripe.
I mean, you got to make free throws in a late game situation. It also allows you to set up the kind of pressure you want to put on North Carolina right here. But we saw North Carolina and Hubert Davis go through this at shoot-around this morning.
Well, they've now missed 11 free throws tonight in a 10-point game. Will work some of that clock. Oh, they found Washington alone. He couldn't hold on.
That's Dean Smith coach's assist right there. Elliot Cadeau did everything right. Yep. Got it to Washington where he could score and finish it.
11 points, 13 assists.
So when Hubert Davis goes back and watches film, he'll tell Elliot Cadeau, that might count on my stat sheet, not on the official one.
Jourdain with a bump.
I think Penny Hardaway has a lot to look forward to with this team, though. They're athletic, they're long, they have some rim presence, rim protection. He's got guards that can score, that can go unscripted, that can break it off, they can play with pace. They've got a measure of toughness about them on the defensive end. And when you're competitive in practice every day, it just raises the level of everyone around you, and it just makes you sharper when you get to late game situations like this. And you got a bunch of new guys and you're trying to learn, you know, what their makeup is, what's their character in a late game situation. Hubert Davis already knows that about his guys.
Jourdain real solid. He's a rebound away from a double-double tonight.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. Strong, athletic, active.
Oh, Cadeau, back pass. The drive, and there's Haggerty from Harris.
Been talking about how good Elliot Cadeau is at advancing the basketball in transition, but that was one that was ill-advised and will be corrected in film tomorrow.
It's a two-possession game with 1:22 to go here in Memphis. And the Tigers keep clawing back into it.
That's where you learn about resolve and resilience. Like I was talking about before, Beth, you're trying to figure it out, right? October 15, a soft pass cross-court in transition against a team that you know is desperate for possession. Harris making a good read right there and coming up with that steal.
13 on the night now for Memphis. We've got 1:22 to go. Louisiana Tech, New Mexico State football. If you're looking for that game over on ESPN News, is where you'll find it. And then we'll get you back over here at the conclusion of this game. And then our second game, the women's game on ESPN Plus tonight, Memphis and South Carolina.
Carolina guys having a good time with Armando Bacot sitting down to our left all game, talking to him. We enjoyed having him on in the first half. But Memphis right here, they can come up with a steal and a score. You got to get, can you get 2 stops in a row?
Tar Heels have hit just one of their last 8 shots, allowing Memphis to creep back into it.
Elliot Cadeau, a 65% free throw shooter last year. You don't want to foul here. North Carolina flattens it out.
Under 10, the pass picked off. It's a second straight turnover for Cadeau. Okogie off balance in the lane and turns it back over. Trimble draws a foul on Jourdain. Memphis a little rushed.
Yeah, but you know what? I love what Hubert Davis is doing right now with Elliot Cadeau. He's telling him it's okay, right? It's okay, right? October 15, you got to see the bigger picture right now. Can't turn it over late. He knows that. He doesn't need a reminder. Might as well encourage him so he doesn't turn it over a third time in a row.
Trimble, 7 of 7 from the line, 32 points tonight.
Got to go quickly here.
3 ball on its way, no good from Rogers. Weak side scramble, Carolina's got it.
Now you might want to consider fouling.
Yeah. Just a 3-second difference.
Right here, foul.
Or since it's still exhibition season, they may just let it go, and now they've allowed a lot of time to work off the clock.
I would have fouled Cadeau.
Yeah.
Try to extend the game.
Powell slips and travels.
Jumping from Tar Heels,
6.3 to go, and the Tar Heels in this Hoops for St. Jude Tip-Off Classic. The exhibition matchup will come into the FedEx Forum and pick up the win over Memphis.
Are these two on the same side of the bracket? In
I don't
Maui?
believe so.
Okay, unless they get to the title, right?
Meet up in the middle, yeah. Never too early to start talking about Feast Week. Haggerty at the buzzer, and that'll do it. 84-76, the final score. North Carolina over the Memphis Tigers. 33 points for Seth Trimble. Elliot Cadeau, the double-double, 11 points and 13 assists. For Debbie Antonelli and our entire crew, I'm Beth Bowens. The final here at FedEx Forum in Memphis, 84-76, Tar Heels. Second game of our doubleheader coming your way at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN Plus, with the South Carolina women, #1 in the country, taking on Memphis. And coming up next here on ESPNU, Conference USA football from Las Cruces with Louisiana Tech and New Mexico State.